Well, like lots of cities throughout this planet, Boston has its fair share of tall buildings and what have you. We're in the downtown area. As you can see, State Street. But what I particularly like here is the new buildings there that we see, or relatively new, and that one there. I don't know how long that one's been there. Let's see. Look at it. This is an idea of how touristy this place. This is one of those duck tours that you see them in London. Behind it is one of the trolley ones. And behind that is another one of those duck tours things. Anyway, but yeah, you see that building there. That probably goes back a while, I think. And the old, it might be the old state building. Anyway, something like that. Anyway, but what particularly noticed to me is that if you look at the front, either side of the clock, you see on the left the lion and on the right the unicorn, which is of course what's on the front of my passport. So presumably when that building was built, then that was before the revolution and all that. But interestingly enough is the fact that the lion and the unicorn are still there. They haven't been torn down. Like this street called State Street used to be called King Street.
Old State House, the oldest surviving public building in Boston.
Okay, Old State House, oldest surviving
public building in Boston.
Public
built
building
in 1713.
In Boston, built in 1713. There we go, and as you can tell, it's 10 past 11. Anyway, I do think actually, that, and this applies to every single one of us, no matter where we're from, it is important to know the history, preferably factual and actual history, of our countries. I mean, not like we're nuts about it, but to have that basic information about our own history, warts and all. I realize that none of it's perfect, for sure, and hopefully, we're off now. We're on some sort of trail here, right, in Boston, and shortly there'll be the Paul Revere house, and he's famous for something or other. But I should say that somewhere around here there's a site of what was called the Boston Massacre. Well, according to this fellow yesterday who was guiding us, it really wasn't a massacre. There was a bit of a misunderstanding, which is another of those ducky things there, Boston duck tours. But according to the fellow yesterday, it wasn't a massacre, it was a misunderstanding, which unfortunately resulted in the deaths of 8 people. But it wasn't like a massacre, and this is another thing one has to be careful about. In all our histories, things can get kind of warped a little bit, to suit somebody who, wants wants a certain impression to be gained. And I say again, Google Pilgrims and Puritans, and yes, they were far from perfect.
In 1776,
the
Old State House was the site of the first public reading of the Declaration of Independence.
Ooh, that's important.
July 18, 1776.
Okay, the first public reading of the Declaration of Independence was apparently in the Old State House. How about that? Anyway, so we're off on this trail. Bye.